Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another weekend workshop. It's so great to have you with us today. My name is Kerry Ramsay, and I'm the project manager for the Weekend Project, which is led by Queen's University. And as many of you know, usually I'm the one who's doing the facilitating of these workshops. But today I'm not only facilitating, I'm also presenting. So this will be interesting. Hopefully, we don't have any technical snafus, but all seems to be running well so far. I'm so thrilled that you have taken out a morning of your summer to spend with us today. So welcome. I hope that you are in a comfortable place. By the way, if you don't have a notebook and a pen, you might want to grab one. It might be helpful to you because we're going to be following a process that I'm introducing today, and it might be helpful to jot down just the visual that I'm going to put on the screen. So it's up to you. Of course, this recording will be available to you later as well, so you can check that out and copy it. It's not anything complicated, so you can also just commit it to memory. But it's great to have everyone here today. Today, of course, we're going to be talking about building your profitable offer pathway. And just as we're getting started, I would love to invite you to introduce yourself to the others in the group in the Zoom chat. If you're just joining us for the very first time at one of our weekend workshops, we are thrilled that you are here. And I would love to, we'd like to get to know you a little better. So if you'd like to drop a note into the Zoom chat, let us know what your business is. If you have a business link, feel free to put it there. It's a great opportunity to increase visibility for your business, as well, of course, as hopefully learning something new. So I have been an instructor and I was a professor for 15 years. So I am well aware that in a workshop of this nature, some of you may get one aha moment. And you know what I'm shooting for? That one aha moment. I just want everyone to leave with some value today. Some of this may be applicable to right where you are in your business right now. Some of it may not. I would love to have a discussion and a conversation even around what I'm presenting today. One size doesn't fit all, and I completely understand that. But I also know that one size can be sort of tweaked and adjusted to match whether it's our industry sector, the size of business we're in, the stage of business we're in. So I hope that you'll just take the best from the presentation and apply it in a way that is meaningful to you and your business. So actually, before we get started, as you are connecting in the Zoom chat, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that Queen's University is situated on the unceded territory of the Huron, the Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. And as a white settler, it is my honor and privilege to live, work, and play here on these ancestral lands. One of the things that I enjoy doing during our land acknowledgements is to introduce you to some of our Indigenous clients from the Weekend Project. And so I've just dropped a link in there to one of our clients who's a part of our one of our early stage masterminds right now. So Brandy Akey is the owner of Be Aligned Media. And I believe, yeah, it was dropped there in the Zoom chat. So Be Aligned Media is a creative hub that's dedicated to social media management, crafting content, and user-generated content. And she's based in Tyendinaga. She also serves Belleville, Kingston, surrounding areas. And she's just undergoing a website shift right now, but she's also started a new Instagram account, and that's why I put that Instagram link there. So one of our fantastic Indigenous-owned businesses, and so definitely check her out. We're all about women supporting women. All right, so as we're getting started today, I wanted to just give you a lay of the land. By the way, because I'm presenting and facilitating today, I might not be checking that Zoom chat as often as I usually do. So I may miss comments. For this reason, as you'll see, we have a Q&A session at the end. And so anything I miss, we'll just pick it up at the end. But please write down your questions maybe in that notebook I mentioned. That's a good thing for you to have with you so that you don't miss them, you don't forget them. All right, so here's where we're going today. Would love to explore this idea of a profitable idea pathway with you. And if you've been in one of our masterminds or you've coached with me in the past, you have heard me talk about the profitable offer pathway. I know some people are nodding and grinning because this is a concept that I really believe in. It's a system, right? And so as we grow our businesses, it really is helpful to have systems and processes. So it's a sales system. I have a business outside of Queens, and it's worked for me there. Again, I hope it's helpful to you, and even if you tweak it and massage a little bit to fit what works for you in your business, the step-by-step guide today will give you the outline, so that you ultimately, hopefully, can become what I call a pop star, which is just really great at managing your own profitable offer pathway. So that's where we're headed today. So of course, this begs the question, what the heck is a profitable offer pathway? And so here's my definition. This is a term that I've come up with on my own, and the diagram you'll see is my own. So for me, it's a clearly defined set of value added offers. Let's just pause there for a moment. So you can see right away, there's clarity around this. And I coach a lot of weekend women entrepreneurs, and there's a lack of clarity for a lot of us on what we offer. Right. And so if we can get super crystal clear on what we offer, I think it can really benefit us. And so we want to be clear. We want to have value added offers. Offers equals sales, right? If we're not making offers, we can't make sales. And this leads us, our core customer through a series of purchasing milestones. If you're not clear on who your core customer is yet, and you're a weekend client, you can book a session with me. Let's get crystal clear on that, because this is also an important part of what we're talking about today. Once you know who that person is, you can lead them on this series of purchasing milestones, which are basically offers that you make along the customer journey. Okay, so this is for you visual learners. This is what that pathway looks like. And if you have a notebook and you want to take a moment to just, it's so basic. It's 4 squares with numbers above them, right? You can get away with that. I'm going to be, filling this in as we go. This is a diagram that I created on my own, just because in my own mind, it made a lot of sense. And as I implemented this process, in not only my own business, but I worked with other women, certainly in the weekend community, to do this, it suddenly became such a simple process. And so I'm hoping that you'll have one aha moment today that might just tweak your sales process or system so it works better. Why do we want to do this in the first place? Well, first of all, it's going to serve our core customer, remember that core customer, in a consistent way that leads to consistent revenue. And this is, something I see over and over again, is that women that I'm coaching and working with are really discouraged they don't have consistent revenue. But then when we work together, they're realizing they're not showing up in a consistent way that leads to consistent revenue. Like, it's not magic, it's work. But if we have a plan and we have a consistent process to follow, then that consistent revenue will often follow if we're, optimizing the pathway like we're going to talk about today. So 3 reasons to create a POP, or a profitable offer pathway, that I really believe in. The first is that it helps us focus. So raise your hand if you are sort of an entrepreneur that pinballs around. That's okay, right? You're not alone if that's you, because we're creative and always pursuing new options and opportunities, but focus is what saves us time, money, and energy. It ultimately leads to consistency. That, of course, leads to that consistent revenue we're looking for. I also love the POP because this creates this structure and consistency for us, right? It's a process. And as the longer we're in business, the more we learn and recognize we need some of these structures and systems in order to rinse and repeat. You've heard me use that word a lot, or that phrase a lot. This is a rinse and repeat type of a system, and it allows us, here's the kicker, to grow and scale sustainably, right? Rather than always reacting, it's proactive. We can lay it out. It's a process we can follow and trust in. The other reason I really love the POP is because it strengthens relationships with our core customers. And the women that I work with, and the women that you are in this room, I know that you love to build relationships. So rather than always searching for new customers, it allows us to go deep with the customers we already have. I'm going to say that one more time, because somebody in the room might be exhausted from always finding new customers, or feeling like they need to build out. And yes, it's important to always build our audience. I believe in that. But I also believe in really taking care and nurturing the audience we have. So this process we're going to talk about today is exactly that. It allows us to nurture our existing customers as they come in to our profitable offer pathway, and we lead them through this process. Okay, so I mentioned there's 4 different stages really of the profitable offer pathway process. And the first is awareness. And I don't care if you're a brand new business, which of course would need awareness because it has, people don't know you exist, but it could also be you're an existing business with a new product or service. right? And people need to be aware that, hey, I've pivoted or I've evolved or I have this new thing. So awareness applies, I believe, right across the board, no matter what type of business we have or what stage we're in. And what our client or customer is saying to us at this early stage is inform me. I need to know more. Tell me about this thing that you are selling. And so I am going to submit to you that starting with a free offer is a really great way to answer the question, inform me, right? And it leads to this awareness that we're looking for. So why a free offer? Again, this is something I've talked about a lot in masterminds and coaching sessions. So if it's helpful to you, awesome. And I also know that people have a guttural and visceral reaction to the word free. And I get it because you've probably experienced being stuck in the free zone for way too long. So we'll make sure that you get out. So I want to promise you we're going to get out. But here's the human psychology. We like to try before we buy, right? And this is something that has only become more pronounced and important as our economy has become a little shaky in the last, let's say, 6 months or even, past few years. We are, the same as our potential customers and clients in that we want to be sure. If we're putting money down, we want to know that this is value, that the person we are going to work with is whatever, is kind, is knowledgeable, is experienced, all of these things. Why? I don't know if you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but at the very bottom is safety, right? And so when we offer something for free, we're actually satisfying that need for reassurance and certainty and safety in our customer or client. We're saying, here's something, try it out. I'm not going to charge you for it. And they can build up this confidence in us and in what we offer. So free offers build confidence. 3 examples I have on the screen. I don't know if you've bought a car recently, but it's probably like you didn't buy that high ticket item before you test drove it, right? So that's a free taste of what it's going to be like to sit in that car and how fast it accelerates on the 401, all of those different things. So that's a very simple example of a high ticket item that we definitely would want to try for free, first of all. The middle image is a yoga, of course, she's at yoga. And for me, this represents the free yoga class that I took before I signed up for 3 years of yoga class. I've been with her for 3 years now, but the first one was free. So I could see, do I like the studio? Do I like the instructor? Is this my vibe? And that's another example of a free offer that now for 3 years. And now I don't buy one yoga class. I buy a batch of 10, or I even last year bought 20 at a time. And that was a much higher price, obviously, than free, right? So, and then of course, my favorite, free cheese. Have you been to Costco lately? Have you been to Farm Boy? And they offer you a taste of a product, right? Which of course, once I taste it and I like it, I either buy the wedge or I buy the whole block of cheese. And now I'm hungry for cheese. You're welcome if you also are. So it's, obviously we know this, we experience this. Free offers really do build confidence. So for some of you thinking, oh my gosh, I have to create a new lead magnet or something brand new, it might be actually more simple than you think. So I wanted to give you some examples of free offers that, I've done myself or I see. And by the way, in a moment, I'm going to invite you to share if you have a free offer. Great opportunity for visibility again. So it could be as simple as your social media, but again, quality social media, like not just, it has to relate. It has to give people a taste of what you do and your expertise. It might be newsletter. I'm not going to read the whole list here. You can read them. Blogs, quizzes, challenges, e-guides. This will be recorded, or I know some of you like to take photos of screens. So if you want to grab a shot of this because you're like, yeah, I don't have a free offer, maybe I could use one of these in my own business. So here's a bunch of examples. Again, if you're missing it because I'm moving on, you can check out the recording later. I wanted to show you 3 examples from the Weekend community. So I pulled these this week. And so one is DIY Like a Girl, which is a free workshop. So Tammy Watson, who's the Canadian handy woman, she offers this in collaboration with a real estate agent. and a house inspector. It's a free taste of the three of, like, there's three services. So I love that. It's a collaboration also. The Wild Journal is a free blog that Claire Beach offers. She runs The Wild Edge, which offers nature therapy, forest therapy walks, and workplace wellness programs. But her free offer, among other things, but she has a blog there to educate people. And then Cheyenne, who I'm sure many of you know because she's offered weekend workshops for us in the past, she has a 3-day training on using the 3 Ps of sales to create real ROI. She just offered that back in June. So, trainings, workshops, blogs, whatever the direction is that you want to go, here's the thing I want you to remember. If you deliver value with your free offer, you're preparing your customer to buy from you at the next level. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Actually, I'm going to say this probably 3 more times in this presentation, but if you deliver value at the free level, you are preparing your customer to buy from you at the next level. So whatever it is that you offer for free, I want to encourage you to make sure it's a quality offer. All right, so I'm really curious to know what you folks offer for free. And I'm going to go to the Zoom chat now and take a look. Feel free if you have something. So great. And by the way, if you have something like a download on your website, put a link. This is a great chance for people to sign up. So Jackie says she has a free weekly email newsletter. Love it. That offers thoughtful content on all things wellness. So you can sign up. She's giving you, I love the name, Elevate Your Energy. So this is Jackie's free offer. Shauna offers a dog arthritis guide for owners whose dog has been diagnosed with arthritis. So a guide. So this is an e-guide. It's on her website. There's the link. Victoria offers vision workshops. Love that. Okay, I think that I'm going to keep going down here. Penny has created an unlock your conflict code. Ooh, that's so good. To find out your conflict handling style. And you can, you guys are brilliant, just offering those links so people can check that out. So as you can see, there's a lot of different ways that you can go with this. And again, if you're stuck and you're a weekend client, hey, let's book a session. Let's brainstorm how we can do this. By the way, I'm not going to stop you. You can keep putting in your free resources, but I'm going to move on. How many of you, by the way, have met this woman or this individual, Little Miss Freebie, right? We know that there are people who are only going to consume our free stuff, right? They're there, and we can get stuck on the hamster wheel of satisfying Little Miss Freebie. I am right now giving you a get out of jail card free. And we are moving out of the free zone. Are you ready for it? We are moving away. We do not have to stay in the free offer. And this is for somebody who just feels they always have to do stuff for free. You're never going to grow your business if you keep doing everything for free. So what we're doing now is we're moving beyond it. We're going to weed out all the Little Miss Freebies, and we're going to focus on the next level of our low ticket offer, okay? Which then allows people to start paying us, and we can do the free offer, but we do not live there. All right. Otherwise, we don't have a business. So what we are now moving from is awareness to attention. And at the attention level, which is our low ticket offer, people want to be inspired. They want to say, I'm going to buy this thing for Kerry at a low price. And I want to just see what I get for my money, right? They're still testing us, right? And why this is important, by the way, I think the reason I started this whole profitable offer pathway was I was coaching so many women. This was a number of years ago, who they took online courses during COVID. Usually that was how it started. And they, notably were by US gurus who told them they should be charging $3,000, $5,000 for this product. And so that was the only thing that they had on offer. And they were really discouraged that no one was buying this $2,500 package they had put together. And my first question was always, well, have they paid you $25 yet before they pay you $2,500? Because our human psychology, remember, wants us to feel safe. Before I put down $2,500, I'm probably going to want something smaller just to test it out, right? So this allows us to offer a low ticket offer to our clients and customers. And typically this is under $100. Now, if you happen to serve a high, like an affluent clientele, or you're a tech company or a massive organization, add a 0 to that. Add 2 zeros. It's up to you. You know your core customer. But by and large, in the Kingston region market, in our current economy, People will pause if they're going to pay over $100. Under 100, that's considered low ticket. So I put this image up here right now of this woman getting a scalp massage. First of all, because I love going to the spa. Anybody else, you can say in the Zoom chat or give me a reaction if you love going to the spa. I love going to the spa overnight. Okay, so I have learned by now that I am really tired after my spa experiences. And rather than drive the car home, let's say a 45-minute or an hour, I'd rather stay overnight in the beautiful facility they provide and be immersed in this experience. But before I do that, I typically check it out. I might say, give me a pedicure or a manicure, something under $100 so that I can even see if I like this venue. If I could see myself, spending $1,500 here, which is basically what you spend for an overnight spa trip, right? So again, a low ticket offer helps give me confidence, even more so than the free offer, that this value is worthwhile me paying even more in the future. So I've divided low ticket offers here just into two columns. And by the way, I'm going to ask you in a moment what your low ticket offer is, if you have one. So service-based businesses, this might be like a single session of what you offer, or it might be an event or an audit, a tutorial. On the product side, it might be just like one product or a starter bundle. I put DIY supplies at the bottom because I have a client I work with and she creates high-end dolls. They're felt creations. They're just works of art. And they sell for, well over, I think it's like around $250. Anyways, it's a work of art. But what she was finding was she wasn't selling a lot at that price point, but people were willing to buy the DIY kits, right? Where she provided a bunch of supplies to create your own doll. Now, it wasn't a work of art, and people very quickly realized how much work it was, but she was generating consistent sales, consistent revenue using this low ticket offer. And yes, people were still buying the high-end artisanal work, but she was generating cash flow with these low ticket offers. And again, it goes back to that consistent revenue, right? So think about what your low ticket offer is. And I'm going to go to the Zoom chat again. And let's talk about some of the things that we could offer. Love it. Love it. Thank you for all the free offers. I'm just going through that. Good. I love that. Okay, so thinking about now, what is your low ticket offer? What is something that you offer under $100? So Emily says that I think this is, she's saying she does those are paid workshops. Victoria says in-person forest bathing. Shauna says she has 2 low ticket offers. One is an arthritis seminar that goes over, and this is fun because I'm moving my mouse, 5 arthritis myths, reasons why what you're doing right now isn't working, and 3 ways to do it the right way. And it's $10. I love that, right? $10 is low stakes, right? And so when we put down $10, by the way, we're more apt to spend $100 later or more. Jackie's low ticket offer is online women's circles at $75. Love that. And by the way, Jackie and everyone, I love events as low ticket offers because not only do they build confidence in what we sell, but in us. They're getting a taste of us in person, right? Or online, I suppose, but in person's even better. And they get to know us. And once they, trust us, they're probably going to trust our next offer as well. Yeah, so she's saying that's over 3 months. Great. Ashley is saying her lowest ticket offer is still fairly high. Yeah. And so as I leave this, or as we talk about this, this comes up all the time where we have people that look at the pathway and they're like, oh, how interesting. I have no low ticket offers, right? And so this is a challenge to maybe someone in the room today to say, what could I offer for under $100 just to whet their appetite, to build their confidence? On the other hand, and at the other end of the spectrum, and I've seen this too, I have clients that say, wait a minute, all my offers are low ticket. All my offers are under $100. And then this is a challenge to you, if that's your situation, to say, what could I offer at the next levels? And I'm going to give you lots of ideas, I am hoping, and we'll give each other ideas during the Q&A and discussion time today as well, okay? Let me go back here because I know there's a few more comments. So Penny says she has a workshop that allows people to practice assertive communication using a model that she has developed. Fantastic. I don't see the price there, but I'm assuming these are all under $100. And so this is what's happening at the low ticket offer level. Love it. Okay, let's keep going. And we can come back and you can continue to share, by the way, as you're thinking of things. But remember, and I said this before, if you deliver value with your low ticket offer, you are preparing your customer to buy from you at the next level. It's confidence building in you and in your product that you deliver what you say you're going to deliver, and it is worth the price that is being charged. Okay, so we have so far looked at the awareness level and the attention level, so the free and the low ticket. I want to pause here before we go further. And I know that I think I missed a question. Oh, here's a question here, but I may have missed. So I will pause and we'll answer one or two questions here. Shauna is saying, is there a benefit in a price of $10 versus $99, or does it matter? Okay, great question. And I think for me, it depends on what you're offering, right? And the market value for the thing you're offering. So in my business, I have offered, for instance, a low ticket item of an audit for $97, right? But an audit is like an hour of my time. We actually do the audit together. So it's an hour of my time. That's at a reduced level of what I would normally charge. But so an audit to me is worth $97 because you're getting me and my expertise right there, as opposed to a download from a website, like an e-guide, which is, it's a lesser value. So is there a benefit to doing either? I mean, I think it depends on what you're offering. And hey, you can have, if you want, more than one low ticket offer. And I think you could do one that's like a download, and then one that might be a little more intensive. I don't offer the audits, by the way, all the time. I only offer them at certain seasons, usually down or quiet seasons or something like that. So I think it also depends on that. I hope that answered your question. And anyone else is welcome to comment there in the Zoom chat as well. Okay, great. And also Sania is saying to scale that based on the rest of your offerings. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so here we are. Any other questions before we proceed, either about the free or the low ticket offers? If I missed your question earlier, just post it again. Apologies for that. I'm doing my best to keep up with the Zoom chat here as well. Okay, if there's a burning question and you want to come off of mute and I've missed it, do that. But otherwise, we'll continue. Just pause for another moment. We will have time for Q&A at the end as well. Okay. Okay, off we go then. So the next stage is activation. So this is our third stage. And at this stage of our profitable offer pathway, remember this is just the customer's journey with us. We are looking to activate them a little more deeply with our medium ticket offer. So what we're doing with each of these phases, of course, it's almost like, I don't know, if you're like inviting someone into your world, it's like, come a little closer, come a little closer, come even closer, right? And with each step they take closer to you, the price is going up because ultimately you are the most valuable asset that you have in your business, right? So in this case, your client or customer is asking to be involved. And so this is where I like to think of activation as a deeper level of interaction with you and your brand. So for those of you stuck in the low ticket offer and you're like, I don't know how I can start charging more than 100, for instance, this question you might ask yourself, how could you have a deeper level of interaction? So let's say, and I'm going to show you, by the way, Karu is on the line today. She is my case study a little bit later from Cha Cha Tea. Karu sells tea, right? And so she could get stuck in, I offer tea, it's under $100. How can I get out of that? Well, we're going to show you how she did that. And also we'll hear some of your examples as we go too. So medium ticket offers tend to be 100 to 500. Again, if you are serving an affluent core customer or industry, add a zero, add 2 zeros, whatever is relevant to your industry. But generally speaking, for small business owners, $100 to $500 tends to be a medium ticket offer. So here we have service and product-based businesses again. And so you can see we're grouping things, right? This is a little bit of a trick when it comes to the medium ticket offers. You don't just get one session with me now. You buy a 6-session coaching package, and it's $100 to $500, right? Maybe you buy an annual membership or 3-month mastermind. Maybe it's a 3-part masterclass or an online course, a consultation series, right? So it's not just a single item now that you're buying. And when we sell packages or series, etc., we are spending more time with people, or they're being activated because they're just in deeper relationship. The interaction is different, right? It's not just a one and done, which is happening at the low ticket level. Now it's ongoing. There's continuity, and we're building, and ultimately they're getting more results and they're getting better success. And so the product-based side here, subscription services. So maybe you sell a skincare product, right? And that could be, could be $60. I don't know, depending on the price. But maybe instead of just, a one-time, maybe people sign up and pay in advance for a subscription service where you mail them that item 3 times a year. Or if I referred to tea earlier, maybe it's like a tea of the month club, and you get the payment up front and you're sending them right to their doorstep, or they pick it up, however you want to work it. Again, they're activated. They're now coming back, and it's a different feel. It's a different relationship, as we're all sensing right now. Workshop series as well. I used to own a retail shop, so a bricks and mortar retail shop, and we had workshop series. You could buy one for a certain price for like $50, or you could buy 3 for, you got a 10% discount if you paid up front for all 3. But so that allowed me to get cash flow and build relationships with my customers. I just wanted to point out the hands-on training, because I have an example of that as well. Afia Beauty, who is a weekend client, Shamsa Hassan runs Afia Beauty, which is a wonderful business. And so she sells skincare. So here's an example. But I also attended an event that she does, because she has a traveling apothecary. And I don't know if she's done it very recently. I believe she did, because I think on her Instagram, she actually did a summer camp recently. But she offers hands-on training to you come on into this space. I went to an art gallery where she was, and we did face masks, and there was African dance, and she taught us. And so it was this whole experience now, rather than just me ordering her skincare product offline. So how can you amplify what you're doing and really activate people to go into deeper relationship with you? So these are just a few examples. This is one, Ashley's on the call today. I pulled this off of her site or somewhere recently. So this is a 4-week live course she did in the month of June. It was $349. So it's right there in that sweet spot of a medium ticket offer. Again, when you're in a 4-week live course, you are getting a very different experience with Ashley than when you download her free thing, or you do maybe her low ticket item, whatever that might be. So this is an example of a medium ticket offer, which is a fair price. And right now, if she's built some, and I know she, for instance, has done free workshops, etc., and she builds rapport with people. Well, the deeper and the more that we trust that person and that brand, the more likely we are to purchase maybe, that medium ticket offer. All right, so that's one of the examples that I grabbed recently, but I would love to hear if you have an example of a medium ticket offer from your own business that you might want to share with the group. This is interactive. So let me go to the Zoom chat and see what people are saying. Okay, so Penny O, as opposed to Penny V, who's also on the call. Penny offers a success blueprint. It's a discovery process over a series of 4-week meetings. Okay, I like that. Notice the 4 there, 3s and 4s. Like, we're not at a premium ticket yet, right? So that's a nice indication. And her process digs into clients' business, their main and secondary audiences, their industry and competition, roadmap. Okay, so Penny, you're saying it's starting at $1,500. So this, I would say, actually is a high ticket item. And it's fine. Like, I mean, maybe you consider that medium because maybe you have a more affluent core customer. For the purposes of medium ticket 1 to 500, my question would be, is there something you offer that's, an abbreviated version of that? And you can even come off mute if you want to explain that further. But for the process of this as well, this would be in the high ticket item. So just something to think about. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You know your customers best. Victoria is saying that she offers weekend retreats, which is a medium ticket offer. Okay, great, love that. So it's between one and 500 in that case. Ashley says that she pulled a high demand offer out of her signature offer. Okay, this is smart, right? So she has a signature offer. She pulled it out of that and is offering it for $550. And she created Press Connect, right? And she just increased that. Great. So that's a really great strategy. If you're like, all I sell is this big chunky thing, could you break it down a little and offer someone a piece of it at either the low or the medium ticket offer? Right. So we're just sort of holding up our business to the light today, like a little prism, and trying to catch the different angles. How could we build this profitable offer pathway? Okay, Penny V's turn here. Her medium offer is called conflict behavior clarity. And it's a blueprint that includes a comprehensive assessment instrument. And I just lost it on Zoom. But you can read it there. That identifies your unique conflict behaviors, right? It's a 90-minute coaching. Is a feedback report and a 40-page development guide. Okay, it sounds like a lot of value for I'm not sure what the price, 300. That seems fair. And again, it could be, so I love that. Jackie says, I think I'm missing this. And so this is just food for thought today, right? Is there a way to make this fit? Is there a way to put something at that next level? Is sort of a conversation, and I would love for us to dive in even a little bit later. Shauna is saying that her initial in-person session is a medium ticket. It's $270 and it's an evaluation. Great. So that's wonderful. And again, if you think that flows, and I believe it does, Shauna, from those initial, arthritis guides, into, hey, let's talk, let's do an in-person session. That makes a lot of sense. And Wendy says her medium ticket offer is helping small business owners with their newsletters, other small tasks, generally helps with 1 to 2 newsletters a month for less than $300. Great. Sorry, I'm missing some of them, I know. Emily is saying she has a 5-part live workshop series on perimenopause called Hot Stuff. 1.5 hours a week. She charged 150 to 200. I believe that's per person. And so, yeah, you decide, that was a 5-part live workshop. Yeah. And if you feel you underpriced it, first of all, it's probably because you did. Like that's just our nervous system saying, I think we undercharge. Let's pay attention. But you, Emily, you could even make that a 3-part live workshop and just, do 3 parts rather than 5, because they're getting you in person. So love it. And Sanya is saying that she has a bookkeeping cleanup catch up. I'm assuming session maybe, or course for a small business that would fall into her medium ticket offer. Love it. Okay, so all sorts of examples here. And, whether it's exactly 500, 100, it's really up to you to make that work for you. You know your customer, and I keep coming back to that, know your audience, know your customer. We're just giving some general guidelines today. Okay, I love these examples. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Okay, so you know where we're going next. By the way, if you offer value with your medium ticket offer, you are preparing your customer to buy from you at the next level. So to me, this is a clear indication of why people don't just jump to our $2,500 item. And like I say, when those women came to me, were frustrated about that, they actually, now I know of 2 or 3 of them, they're no longer even in business because they didn't create the structure. They just kept trying to push the $2,500 item. They couldn't have, it wasn't sustainable. No one was buying. So when we take the time to create a sales process, it really does allow us to go deeper with our existing customers and add value along the way. So we've gone from awareness to attention. We activated them with our medium ticket offer. And now, to me, this is like the holy grail of business. These people are ambassadors for us, right? And what they're telling us, our customers and clients are saying, immerse me. I'm sold. Like Victoria, Ashley, Shauna, whatever you're selling, I'm buying. What is the thing? How can we work together at a higher level? Now, I want to indicate something very important here today. Not everybody who gets your free offer is moving to the low ticket, but a portion will. Not everyone who buys the low ticket will move to the medium ticket, but a portion will. And not everyone, you get it, Who buys the medium ticket is moving to the high ticket, but a portion will. So it's like this funnel that will get increasingly smaller. And that's okay because the price is going up the higher we go, right? And so if we can sort of automate the free offer, where we don't have to do a lot of work with that necessarily, and we give them a low ticket value, medium ticket, this high ticket item really should be where we're leading them. It should be, like I said, the holy grail, the destination, the thing that we want to provide them with. And so I'll give you, this is of course the high ticket offer. When I think of immersion, has anyone gone to this Van Gogh immersive experience? We did this, it was almost during, it was like the tail end of COVID. It was in Ottawa. We went to that Van Gogh exhibit. And if you haven't been to it, but yeah, let me know in the Zoom chat if you have. It's like, it's not like just seeing the painting on the wall. You're there with other people. You're hearing the music. You are experiencing this in an entirely different way than you've ever thought of Van Gogh or maybe one of the other painters before. And there's all sorts of these immersive experiences now. People love them because it is a different, and I've said that word again, experience, right? And so when we are thinking about our high ticket offer, I want you to think in terms of an experience that you can offer. Again, this would be 500 plus, again, add a 0 or 2 zeros if it's a more affluent core customer. So here's some examples. Service-based businesses, right? They could be signature experiences, intensive boot camps, comprehensive programs. So you see how we've up-leveled from medium here. And it, by the way, does not always mean longer. It doesn't always mean more hours. Like, oh, now it has to be 19 weeks. No, because people don't usually, it's just the value. So maybe like it used to be online, now it's in person, right? Maybe it's that switch for some people. Maybe it's a VIP day. It's like, now you're not in a part of a group. Now it's just about you. And by the way, people love this at the high ticket level where it's a half day VIP session, just you and me. Let's go deep on the thing that we want to change, right? So that's service-based side. You can read all of these examples. Product-based businesses, same idea. What is the exclusive? Now, I would say on the product side, it's also exclusivity. So something that's bespoke or heirloom or collector's piece. I was coaching someone this week who's in the art field, right? And we were talking about this idea of, so there's original art, right? So the main artistic piece that she would produce, which takes probably like hundreds of hours. I don't know, I'm not an artist, but lots and lots of time, right? That's the premium item. And I'm going to charge a high ticket price for that. But you can also buy a tote bag with that image on it, or a postcard or a greeting card, right? It's not the original, and you can buy that at the low ticket level. But if you want the one of a kind piece, that's going to, I think this is obvious, and maybe I'm just, going too far here, but you know what I'm saying? It has to be exclusive. It has to be special. What is special about it? And very often we can, turn things into experiences that people will pay for as well, even if it's the experience of me. Every time I walk past that original piece of art in my home, I have that experience. And by the way, I do. When we moved to this region, I went to a local art market. It was my housewarming gift to myself. I bought an original piece of art. Every time I walk past that, I remember who painted it, because I met her. I remember where I was, and the celebration, which was moving into my new home. So these luxury items can still be experiences, even though, it doesn't have to be an in-person or online. Okay. So these are some of the things that we're talking. Sorry, I'm not following all the Zoom chat. We'll come back to it. Okay. So I have a couple of examples from the weekend community. I always like to show our weekend clients. So here we have, remember, it was basically over 500, right? So I just had a couple examples. The first, this organizational culture development program is from ACE Nutrition. Some of you know Michelle Deschênes, one of our longtime weekend clients. So she is charging $560 for 8 sessions. It's a group session, and it's in a workplace. And you can read the example here, but I thought it was really well done. So it's value-added training and development with a team approach, which creates a cohesive and more inclusive workforce with less stigma surrounding physical and emotional health. So she builds and maintains a positive workplace culture, talking about attracting and retaining top talent. Okay, so love that. So also Claire Beach, who runs the Wild Edge. This I grabbed from last year, I think it was, or last fall. So it has her old logo on it. That's okay. Amongst the Trees Forest Therapy is also known as the Wild Edge now. And this was her restorative women's retreat. She charged $820 for that. And this was actually the lower price. This was for shared accommodation. And then you could have a private room. And I think it was in the 900s. It was, I believe, over 2 nights. And, it's a women's retreat, basically. As we can see in both these cases, these are experiences, right? So we are going deep for sure on the left-hand side with our workplace. On the right-hand side, we're exploring and experiencing something maybe a little bit different than before. Okay, so I want to pause and ask what your high ticket offer is. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. So, and Claire, by the way, I don't think she's on the call today, but maybe she'll watch later and she'll hear us talking about her. Claire does follow, like, she does a great job of following the profitable offer pathway. She has that free item that Wendy's referring to as well. So Victoria is saying she has a 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month program. Fantastic. That's a great and easy way of organizing it for yourself. Love it. So let me go up here. Penny V, as opposed to Penny O, who's also on the call. She says one of her coaching packages is called Your Conflict Navigation Compass, where you deconstruct a specific conflict. Yeah, so you're going deeper, you're getting that experience, and the cost there is $2,100. High five to you for just like calling your shot and charging what it's worth, and you're probably going to double that cost, Penny, in the next year or so. I love it. Ardith is saying she offers 12 sessions over 12-session 90-day private health and life coaching program. And so I'm not sure, is that, yeah. So the full package is $480. So that would be under our high ticket item here, but it might be, you've broken that down into different sections. So that might be your high ticket. As for some of us are getting the idea that maybe we need to raise the price of our high ticket items because they're not actually high ticket. So if you're charging $85 and you consider that a high ticket, maybe just like take a look at that. Is that just an underpricing? What's the situation there too? Yeah. There's
Carrie,
no.
can
Sorry,
I
go
say
ahead, Arden.
I just wanted to say that it took me so long to write my message. That was actually about my medium one.
I love it. I love it.
And I wanted to now type in what I'd like to do for my high ticket offer.
Well, just tell us. You just go ahead and tell us.
Well, I mean, I coached a woman that was in her late 80s, and she showed me she wanted to do some things that a lot of people didn't think that she should do. So, like at one point, we were even talking about going skydiving together. So,
wow,
I could see myself doing like that, like VIP high ticket offer.
Yes.
I would, because I'm certified as a health and life coach. And I'm noticing that a lot, and because I'm starting to become a social service worker, I'm really starting to see the value of exercising with clients, but also offering them like that counseling aspect as well. And because I'm trained as a downhill skier, I love cross country skiing, skating. I want to do things like that. I just don't know how to go about doing it.
Well, and I love that you use the word VIP, and I would just like add experience to that, because jumping out, I mean, talk about an immersive experience, right? But that, yeah, you're right. As you coach someone, and we don't have to coach right now, but like it makes sense that you would offer maybe a VIP experience that relates to the coaching, whatever that might be. So, I've seen that with people who help people getting over their fears. Let's do this experience that helps you get over that, and someone would pay extra because that's more immersive, right? That's transformational. And ultimately, by the time we get to that high ticket item, we should be offering, really what we're selling is transformation, whether that's even through a product or a service. So I love it, Arda. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sanya is saying her high ticket offer would be monthly, quarterly accounting packages that would build long-term finance and strategic relationships with her clients. Fantastic. Shauna is saying she has a 6-session 9 or 12 sessions that range from $1,200 to $2,100. Awesome. Love that. Charlene says she's still new in creating these ideas, but yeah, she's getting some ideas about the self-discovery coaching that she does. Yeah, I love that so much. Okay, fantastic. So these are like, we want to explore and make sure like that we have something, and it's not something for everyone. Here's the thing. It's something for the same person, right? The person who enters at the free level, how can we nurture them? And this is where we're kind of going next. How can we nurture them along the way? Oh yeah, and I already said this idea. The high ticket is really experiential. How can we add that? Okay, so we've gone through this pathway. This is it. If you've written it down, that's great. If not, that's okay too. I'm not offended. But we've moved from awareness through attention, activation, and ambassadorship. Okay, so at this level, and I promise, like even thinking of who Ardith was just talking about, this woman who wants to jump out of, you can bet she's telling her friends about this transformational experience she's having with Ardith, because the more we develop that relationship, the more value, the more transformation, the more people are going to tell other people about what they're experiencing. And that's just common. I've experienced that in my business. I'm sure some of you have experienced that in your own as well. Okay, so there was a couple more comments here as well. Jackie's saying she has a 3-month feminine wellness coaching for $950. Sorry, I didn't get the whole thing, but there we can see that in the chat. Ardith is saying her high ticket item is legacy storytelling, a one-time product of $1250. I love this. You know what? I think women need to talk more about pricing. We need to talk about charging, and this is courageous because some people didn't grow up in a household that talked about money. By the way, in this community, it's perfectly okay to talk about money. There's no right or wrong answers. We explore it together. All right. I think Caro is still on the call. She was earlier. Maybe just give us a little drop in the chat. I can't see everyone because I'm in gallery view right now. So if you haven't met this wonderful woman, she's a vital part of the weekend community. She runs Cha-Cha Tea. It's actually, the word shop isn't on it. I added that, but it's a shop and it's Cha-Cha Tea. So I actually asked Cara if I could do this for her, which is to give an example using one of our weekend clients. And so this is kind of what I imagine you could do on this paper that you have been jotting away, to just list under your free offer. What are your free offers? What are your low ticket offers? So for Caro, she has a newsletter, social media, and she also allows people to taste tea. Probably, I don't know if it's every day in her shop, but you can taste something. Again, that sort of Costco farm boy experience right there in Cha-Cha Tea. So her low ticket offers, of course, her core product. She sells tea, right? And tea is a low ticket offer. It's under $100, tea accessories, and she has related food items. By the way, if you haven't visited her yet, go ahead. It's a wonderful, wonderful shop. I've been there myself. But also she then moves into, she could get stuck there, right? She could get stuck just in selling the tea, but she, in recent years, I've witnessed this myself, has moved to the medium ticket offer, where now she offers events, pairings, parties. She has a book club as well. And, while all of these might not be, well over $100 necessarily, these are now amplified experiences that she is selling. So people get more involved and activated. They get to know her. She teaches, she trains, she does a Japanese tea ceremony, I believe. And she teaches about her own culture and all of, the aspects of what it is to drink tea. And then finally, at the high level, she does wholesale with restaurants. And I recently, or actually it wasn't recent, it was actually last year, I think I was at a restaurant and I looked at the menu and there it was, Cha-Cha Tea was on the menu. So she was collabing with that restaurant. And also she has plans to do some tea travels. So I know she's from Japan. She's looking to, at some point, take some folks to Japan who want to experience that. Well, that is certainly an immersive experience. That is certainly an example of a high ticket item, even if you sell a product that might be a low ticket item itself. Okay. Yes, I love that. Oh, that's a great combination. I love that. Tea and forest bathing. Wonderful. Oh, I love it. Japan tea trip is March 2026. If you want to go with Caro to Japan, I'm going to consider that. I might have to consider that, Caro. I love it. Okay. So this, I wanted to map out sort of an example of what we've been talking about. So at the bottom, let me check my time. Okay. At the bottom of this screen, do you see what I've added here, which are these arrows that I have the word nurture all along the way, because it is not an automatic thing that someone will take our free offer and say, I wonder what's next. And then they take the low ticket. Now, I wonder what's next. It's our job. It's our role to nurture them. We need to get those free folks and pull them into or encourage them to go to the low ticket, next to the medium, next to the high. That's our role. And I find a lot of people, this is where they kind of get confused and frustrated because they think, well, someone downloaded my free PDF. Why aren't they now buying the next thing? Or they came to my event. Why aren't they now coming to my coaching session? Right. And here's the key. We have to nurture them. Good news, there are tools that allow us to do this, and some of them are free. That might be your email list. Remember, if you have people on the email list, but you're not emailing them, that's not helpful. That's not helpful to you and your business. You want to say, hey, thanks so much for coming to the event we had last night. You might also be interested in joining us, whether it's at our next event or in my business, I offer a ticket bundle. So people can buy a bundle of event tickets. And it's over that bumps them into the medium ticket level. Medium offer level. So email lists are absolutely vital. When someone buys something from us, if we can capture an email list, email address somehow in a ethical and a legal way, please follow castle legislation. If you don't know what that is, book a session with me if you're a weekend client. Email is vital. Social media, of course, we all know it. I have a lot of people who hate social media, and yet they do complain that they're not getting sales. So I'm like, well, how then are you being visible? It's okay not to use social media, but you have to be using something to nurture your audience, right? Regular events, online or in person, online community groups. So I have multiple Facebook groups. You know, the Weekend community has an online community with hundreds and hundreds of people in it. It's a great way to nurture the audience, right? Loyalty programs. Is your business equipped to provide a loyalty program? I just went to a card shop this week because, you know, I could have bought my cards from a lot of places, but she has a little card punch thing every time. She's an independent business owner, but I go and I buy a card and she punches that thing. I'm like, that's a little incentive for me. Like, I don't drink coffee, but I know there's people that sell coffee that way too. But I love a punch card. And then, of course, social proof, testimonials. Nurture your audience by showing the transformation you got from someone else, right? These are all things that are not new to any of us, but let's recognize them as nurturing tools that allow us to nurture our audience. Okay, Sanya, I'm just going to pause for a second here. So, okay, we might come back and talk to these general questions at the end as well. Love that. Okay, so how do you nurture your audience? That's where I'm going next. This is a test tip, not a test. This is an opportunity for you to tell us, how do you nurture your audience? So if you have a way that you like to do, I'll see here. I know a bunch of you have already put that your free resource is a newsletter. So that is a way that you nurture your audience, which is great. Make sure that the newsletter is pointing them to other offers, okay? Yep, we got people signing up for that trip to Japan right now, Karu. We need a link. I'm just kidding. But if Karu, if you want to get them on the newsletter list, drop your link there because they'll get on the newsletter list. Okay, how are you nurturing your audience? We're at 11 o'clock. You can come off. If you're tired of typing, I've asked you to type a lot. If you want to come off mic or on mic, let us know. How are you nurturing? This is a vital part of the profitable offer pathway. Nobody is nurturing. You're tired of responding. Phone calls. So Victoria follows up a phone. Ooh, very like original these days to follow up actually by phone. So obviously we've got Shauna saying email, social media, Facebook group. Fantastic. Remember a group is different than a page, right? A group is more interactive. Penny V is saying monthly newsletter. Oops, sorry. Monthly newsletter, social media, and emails are the ways that she engages and nurtures her audience. Love it. Some saying I was terrible social media and awareness, but I love it. Referrals are great. So again, an incentive. Do you have a referral program? Because, you know, these are just ways that we can wait for people to act, or we can give the invitation, right? So referral programs often invite people to do that.
Carrie, I like to send messages to people privately, and I've learned that it's helpful to have them hear my voice. That
Yes,
creates more of a connection, and then that encourages them to do the same thing.
agreed.
Um, and then one thing I've learned also that helps is sometimes just like let's have a 15-minute chat. And because I have a bit of time blindness, I've started using my timer so I make it
Good,
exactly 15 minutes.
good.
And then just see like, okay, like what is it that you're looking for, and just chat with
Mm,
them without it
yeah,
being like salesy. And then yeah,
yeah.
sometimes that actually ends up saving.
I think check-ins are a great idea for existing customers, or maybe there were people that bought that 3-month coaching package. And I've done this myself. I follow up, say, hey, Christine, we haven't talked for a while. How's that going? It's just like a
Mhm.
little, and I usually do it by email just for time, but then they email back and say, oh, hey, I forgot, you know what, let's book some more book some more sessions. Inevitably, that often will happen. Thanks for that, Ardit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jackie is saying email newsletters. She has an online community and a current circle. Um, yeah, lots of great examples here. Fantastic.
Carrie.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Heather.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and that follow-up is so important because I
So important.
went through a real stressful period where I had a lot of connections and I thought they were really good connections and nothing happened. And 3 weeks later, girlfriend said to me, you know what? If it was me, you would say, pick up the phone and call them. I called all three of them. One person had been in the hospital. The other two people were like, oh my God, I've been trying to get back to you and I've just been so
Wow.
busy. I'm glad you reached out to me.
Yeah.
And it was one of those days when I thought, oh, I'm just so done with this.
Yeah.
And then that
Yeah.
happened. I'm like, okay, here we go. Like,
Right. And I
yeah.
love that you mentioned the phone call, and Heather's in human resources. So she's calling companies, right, that have people they answer the phone. Like
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody answers the phone anymore, but if your customers do, that is a brilliant way. And sometimes, again, if I have a client that's like, I keep reaching, I keep emailing, I'm like, well, have you called them? And then like they're like, oh, no, I guess I could call. Like, yeah, it's a little more immediate and it doesn't get lost. Sometimes emails just get lost in their inbox, right? And you might have a newsletter that keeps going out, but maybe for some reason it's not, it's like in someone's graveyard of emails. So I love that. Yeah, don't always be despondent. Try to find, ways to keep nurturing. So how you nurture, I see someone saying, I just thank them. Oh, these are different, yeah, different ways, I guess, for referrals as well. Yeah, I used to have a favorite book, and when I had someone refer, if someone referred to me, it was like a medium ticket offer. Like so it was worth me mailing my favorite book to this person. And so that was my thank you. I'd say, thank you so much for that referral. Here's a book I love, right? Yeah, Sean is saying the fortunes and the follow-up. Yeah, I know I would have bought from some companies, but they never followed up with me. We need to, yeah, think about yourself and that scenario as well. Love that. Okay, so to wrap up, I just want to make sure that we're in how you can ensure the success of this on an ongoing basis. So I talk about the ROI. It's not return on investment. It actually stands for refine your audience, optimize your messaging, invite your audience to engage. I'm not going to go further than this one screen talking about this, but this is a whole approach, right? And again, if you are finding that your profitable offer pathway isn't successful, it might be that you haven't niched down enough to your audience and you're just trying to serve too many people. That's a possibility. I'm not saying it always is happening, but think about refining your audience. Once you do, you're able to optimize your messaging, whether it's in your email or in your social media or in those phone calls or Facebook groups, to optimize that messaging to suit the language, the needs of that core customer that you've just refined, from your audience. And ultimately, you can't sell if you're not asking people to engage, if you're not giving them a call to action. And like a lot of people send out newsletters with no calls to action, like they just don't sell. And I'm not saying you have to sell in your newsletter. I send out a newsletter probably once a month for my own business. And I have, I always link to my recent blog posts. So there's value there. But I always make sure that I let them know ways they can work with me, like whatever it might be. If I have an evening event coming up, here's what's coming up, right? So make sure that you aren't sending out a newsletter or just posting on social, but not actually giving a call to action. You'd be amazed how often that happens actually, because we get a little bit, you know, this sale, we're afraid of making an offer or a sale. But think that you've heard today from enough women who are making offers that you realize you can do it too. Okay. So here we are, since we're in the month of July, Canada Day, Q&A session, Canada style. You guys know where you can reach me. Of course, you have my email address, but I'm going to stop sharing so that we can do a little bit maybe of some questions. If folks have questions, I would love, and I don't have to be the one with the answers, but let's just sort of maybe give, like, was one of those sticky for you? Maybe there's a question, and I know there were, that I didn't get to because I couldn't read all of it. Just, you can use your reaction button to raise your hand, or you can raise your real hand, and that'll help us keep it organized here. Who would like to ask a question or even make a comment? We'll start with Emily. Go ahead.
Good morning. I just was curious if you could kind of guide us on how much time as new entrepreneurs to spend in creating those first few tiers before we have that final punchy box. Because
yeah,
to get enough people into the big package, you kind of have to have done all this other work ahead of time.
Yeah, great question. How much time do you spend on it? To me, it's almost like building like a tower. Like it's like, here's the foundation. I'm building trust, right? So I'm building trust. And I feel like as I have built like the 3 blocks, I can put that premium product on the top, so I can offer it. And then it's just rinse and repeat. So to me, it's not how much time do I spend on them now necessarily. It's just, for me, like, it's the process. So for me, in my business, I have monthly events. So that's my low ticket offer. Every month I offer an event, because it's also, here's the thing. We want to pull those same and nurture those same customers through, but we also need to be generating pipeline, right? So that we can bring new people into the pipeline. And so for me, my low ticket offer of my network, my monthly events, is my low ticket offer. That's my pipe. Or you want to think of it top of funnel, whatever visual image you want. So I have to have those regular low ticket offers on offer to make sure I have new pipeline coming in. And then it's a matter of taking them to the medium ticket. For my medium ticket, and anyone else can speak here, my medium ticket, I only offer 3 times a year. My premium ticket, I offer all the time. So I don't know if that helps or makes the waters even muddier. Ultimately, I think you decide, you know, but for me, it's a foundation. If you have built trust and confidence, then it's just rinse and repeat almost. Victoria, do you have a comment around that same thing? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, it's not about the same thing. But I do.
Okay, does somebody else want to, maybe just before we get to the next question, then something around that? Does anyone? Yeah, Jackie, go ahead.
Yeah, I've kind of had thoughts around this as well, because like as I've kind of started things and I'm still fairly new, I almost feel like I'm trying to like max out my offer, like have more demand for it than what I can handle until I'm like able to move into the next thing.
Interesting.
It kind of feels like maybe that's unique to my business and to my offers, but it kind of feels like that's almost what I need to do to just have like enough people and really keep, like drawing people in.
Yeah. And when it comes to, like, let's say if your premium ticket is a group coaching program, so to that point, sometimes we have to work quite a bit to get the demand for a group coaching program, right? So because it's building pipeline, it's building, expanding our audience. And by the way, anytime I hold those events, people are posting on social about my events, more people come into my Instagram, more people come to the events. Like, so it's just, it builds exponentially. And I think that if I took that bottom, if I just remove that, I can, it's like Jenga. If I took that one out, the whole thing would come down. I know it would, because that's my pipeline. So for you, Emily, I think it's just, what is your pipeline? Spend the time you need to develop the pipeline, to build relationships. And for me, it was 8 months in my business before I offered the next thing. Like, I did low ticket for 8 months. And obviously I also have a very busy job. So this is stuff I was doing on the side. So someone else could maybe compress that into a month or 2, but I didn't want to offer anything else. Again, my time is limited as well. So I don't know I hope that helps a little bit. And if anyone in the Zoom chat wants to comment on that, that'd be awesome. Victoria,
I feel like your cash flow might also make a difference. So if your medium offer brings in the cash flow you need to build up to your high offer, then like why not focus on building your cash flow first?
Yeah,
Gives
So,
you
and,
more
and
resources to invest back into your business as well.
brilliant. Absolutely. So we need, and it comes back to that consistent revenue. Like also Sonia says, it's like, what is bringing in revenue so that you can invest and so you can create the next thing, even if it's an online service. Yeah, smart. Victoria, you had a question as well. Let's move over to that.
Yes, thank you so much for this, Kerry. Like this is absolutely beautiful. And I am so grateful that you've created such a easy to read visual pathway. I have now connected a few dots. So thank you for that. And
Awesome.
I wanted to ask, so my free vision workshops have a very clear pathway to my 3, 6, and 12-month programs. Now I'm inspired with my low and medium ticket offer. And my question to you is, what do we do to keep the high ticket offers visible? And so they're not a surprise, they're part of, what I am, what I'm doing, but keep them visible every single step of these ways where it's not necessarily as obvious right now.
Yeah. So what comes to mind, and I would open this up to anyone else as well that wants to comment. For me, it's that nurturing sequence. So I, for instance, if I have a testimonial that comes in for my high-end product, I will post that on my socials or I'll share that in my email. So social proof of what's happening over here. You're missing out on this, right? Like, but other people are enjoying it, and not saying it in a FOMO way, but just to say, like, not fear of missing out, but hey, click on the bio link to get involved today. Like you're missing something. So it's always kind of reminding people through the communications that I regularly have. Again, my time as a business owner is extremely limited. So I use Instagram as my number one because that's where my audience is, and my email newsletter once a month. Those are my primary tools, and they're doing the job for me. So, but I have to be consistently showing up there in order for that message to consistently come through. I hope that answers. Ardith, did you have a comment on that as well?
Well, yeah, just wondering, like, in terms of, it's so easy to keep throwing money at business and then throwing more money than what you're actually bringing in.
Amen.
Do you have like a suggestion, recommendation that has worked out really well for you to figure out, okay, where you really need to spend the money on your business and what is just kind of like that shiny thing that's distracted you from actually meeting your overall goal?
Yeah. I honestly think that I believe in investing in our business, trust me, but back to Sanya's point, if your cash flow is not coming in for you to invest that, then there's a disconnect there, right? So the thing I find a lot of people, it's like when we lack confidence, this is what I'm just seeing, and anyone else can comment on this. When we are a bit shaky, we're like, okay, why is this not selling? Maybe I need another certification. Oh, this is not selling. Maybe I need another technology program. Rather than examining the offer and making sure there's an audience who wants to buy it. And I come always back to the ikigai, which I know Karu has, like, she corrected my pronunciation as a Japanese word. Did I say that right, Karu? Okay. Ikigai, which is this 4 pieces. It's like what you love to do, what you're great at, what people want to buy or want, and what they will pay for. Like all 4 parts have to be there. And I find sometimes, when that's the thing we have to make sure of. And if we have those 4, we should be bringing in revenue, right? If we're not bringing in revenue, one of those quadrants is off. And very often it's what people will not pay for because maybe it's the wrong audience or for whatever reason. So I'm not sure that's an indirect answer to your question, but to me, it's like, we shouldn't be spending more than we're bringing in. That's the bottom line. It's kind of like, we need to know our numbers so that, and I now have I have a bookkeeper and she tells me every month. So I know what I have to invest. And so that's an important role of a person. If I'm not capable of seeing that and I keep going to the hole, I kind of need to have someone working with me almost. Anyone else can, Heather, do you have a comment on that as well as a separate question?
Yeah, no, I had a comment on that. And it kind of to what Emily was saying too about, you know, how long do you offer the lower piece? But I just think it takes time depending on your business. Like I was talking to a bookkeeper yesterday and I was telling her, you know, last year I spent so much money, but because I was kind of embarrassed. Like, I mean, I made some money, but not, and she said, that's nothing. Heather. Like you're going to have to put some money in. So I think when you get started, you have to say, how much am I willing to put in? And I know a girlfriend of mine said to me, after 6 months, she said, Heather, what is your drop dead time? Like, how long are you willing to put into this to say, I'm going to give up? And I said 2 years. And she said, well, you're only in 6 months. And I think what happened to me is that it takes a lot of networking.
Oh my gosh,
It takes a lot of work. But now, almost a year later, now I'm seeing like almost everything is referrals.
Yeah, and back to Ardith's point also, I know Ardith and I have worked together for a little while also, but it's like sometimes it's like you're right, Heather, we're building that runway, right? We can't take off until we have the runway. But the more we change the runway, it's like we're going this way and they're like, nope, I'm gonna go this way, nope, gonna go this way. No, like you have to almost start over every time you do a drastic pivot. As some people, and you're right, Heather, it's that 6-month mark where people go, nobody's buying, I must be wrong, pivot. And then it's like, we got to start building the runway again. So it's almost every time you pivot, and this is just my opinion, open to other people's thoughts, I feel like people almost start over. And sometimes I'm like, just stick with it. Because the first 2 years you don't get rich, you get it right. That's the way it goes. So if you're not rich yet, then you're just getting it right. But once you get it right, that's just the magic starts to happen. Not magic, but you know what I mean? Hard work's still involved. So I think it's all of those answers that we discussed, which I think is great. There's no one easy answer to that. For me, it's like, get clear on the offer, make sure you have people buying it, because if people aren't buying it, I go, why aren't they buying it? Rather than, I must need more certification. It's not me. Like, we are all capable right now of selling something. Like, goodness, my 23-year-old can be starting a business and selling the things she knows. She knows things that I don't know, and she doesn't need a certification to do that. So like, for me, that's the high ticket item. I'll just stop answering this question, I guess, but I see a lot of women spending thousands of dollars on courses and more things because they themselves are just questioning, maybe it's me. And I'm like, no, it's not you. Let's just tweak the offer.
I always
Sandy.
tell my clients that, like, if you're not sure about what you're spending your money on, like, imagine what the outcome and what you're going to measure your success by before you invest that money, because then you can more clearly like tell, did it actually accomplish what I was hoping based on my strategy, and then how to pivot next without restarting, but just adjusting strategy.
Yes, tweaking as we go. And don't get me wrong, I love continuous learning. I'm all for it. But if it's putting us in the hole, like we're talking about a cost question here, it's like, do I really need this XYZ, like this new platform, or do I need just to get courageous and bold and start selling this? That's a tough love question. It's not for Ardith, but it's just for all of us. Like, am I procrastinating right now? Am I procrasta buying? Am I procrasta blah blah blah? Yeah, often it comes down to I'm not ready to be visible and selling, but it's not always that. But I'm just saying
sometimes subtraction is better than addition to your business. So take things away instead of putting more things in.
Edit to elevate. Absolutely. You've heard me probably give this example of Michelangelo who created the David, right? And someone asked him, how did you carve the David? He said, I just took away everything that wasn't the David.
Yeah.
He didn't say I kept adding until I got to he's like, I took away till the masterpiece was there. And that is entirely applicable to our business. We don't need more, we need less. We need more focus on less. And that's what the profitable offer pathway. I'm just, again, one size doesn't fit all. Take the best, leave the rest here today. That's always my mantra. But we might be doing too much, and maybe we just need a clear pathway for ourselves to start. And then so that it makes sense for other people as well. I love this. Oh, this conversation is so juicy. Any other, and that was not just for you, Arda, that sort of went off on a tangent, but I hope that was helpful for some others. Any other questions here today? Oh, I'm just gonna check the Zoom chat and see if there's questions coming in here as well. Sandy is saying, what kind of free resource would you find valuable from your bookkeeper or accountant? Love this.
I think
What is
every time
something-
someone responds, it like bumps it back to the bottom. So this is from like the free, when we were still doing the
Okay.
Inspire Me section.
Yeah, so that one came up. Hopefully there's been some people answering that in there. I'm sorry, there's some very long ones that I'm not even seeing here. Would that be helpful for us to talk about that though?
I think there's a really cool question from Victoria.
Oh, go ahead. What
and
was
the
it,
cost
Victoria?
benefit analysis of what it is costing me to not invest, aka spend money on the next level.
Was that a question or is that?
That's true.
It was
That might
more,
not be a
it was
question.
more of a statement about what you
Okay.
guys were talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
love it. And you know where I find this really happens is in communities like this. And in like when we're by ourselves, we often can't read the label because we're inside the jar. So when we get into the mastermind, so WeCan offers free masterminds, free coaching, all this. So when you partner with someone else and you start talking about this, suddenly I think clarity can be easier. The more time we have conversations with ourselves in our head, it usually, by the way, does not go well. We often negatively spiral. So get in a situation in community, whether it's one, whether it's a bunch. WeCan offers a bunch of stuff. Our WeCan monthly planning sessions, like this isn't an upsell, it's all free. But we do this once a month and we plan our goals for that month. And it's just such like the light bulbs go off because we got 20 women in the room saying, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to come back next week or next month and tell you that I did it. So to me, community is powerful. Karu, then Jackie, and I think we're almost going to be at time.
Hey everyone, I'm setting tea. I don't have a question. I just want to thank you, Kerry, so much. You know, we're talking about time, how long you should do this and that. I think I was stuck in the low ticket for first 15 years because I was in a jar and I was happy. It was okay.
Yeah.
But since I met you, Kerry, I because I was working by myself, long time. I had a customer base, so that was great. But COVID hit, and then I learned about marketing. I learned about networking, and then I want to do workshops. Oh, now I want to do tea shop mystery book club. I want to do Japan tea trip. So I go boom, boom, boom. So feel like so quickly, but I took a long time. The first low ticket. So I think it depends on what you wanted to do, but I want to say to everybody, have fun.
Yes, enjoy the journey, right?
Yeah, enjoy the journey. Yeah.
And sometimes the more we're by ourselves, stuck in our head, we don't. But when I hear you, Karu, say that, and I know, are you 18 years now or 19 years?
19 years. So I want to do 20 years celebration trip to Japan.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, everyone, like let's just celebrate that. One tea bag at a time. She has built this business, and this is public. I know Kara's share this in our other group, but it's like her goal is to increase her sales this year by 20% over last year. She's not done, right? So sometimes we build that courage in community. I love that. I'm so proud of you, Kara. Jackie, over to you.
Yeah, I agree. Community is so helpful and it's been huge for me as well. So this has been wonderful. Something that I have been sitting with a little bit is, for those of you that know the structure of my business, it's helpful, but otherwise, the circles that I've been running, they're capped at 10 people. And I've kind of been sitting with the idea, like, should those be my low ticket offer or should they be my medium ticket offer? Like, should I build upon them and create them as something that's bigger? Just because they are limited in people, because I kind of know we talked about the funnel idea. And so because it's only capped at 10 people and they're running 3 months series, my funnel is very limited from the top. Just, do you have any thoughts on that?
Okay, I love that. I have a thought, but also sure if anyone in the group wants to chime in. I'll just toss it because it said limited. I think it's a medium ticket. Because I would love to see you hosting something that builds pipeline, even once a quarter, once a year, whatever you want. Like for my events, I have once a year, I have a 130 woman event. So it's big. It's my biggest pipeline event, but it directly funnels then the rest of the year into others. For me, the size of my events depends on the size of my venues. So one month it might be 20, then 40, then 60, whatever. but that's my pipeline. So yeah, I don't put a cap on your pipeline would be my personal thought. How can you create some sort of an event? Just can be simpler than your circles, but I would love to see that be your medium ticket. That's just my, like, in terms of the purpose of a low ticket is really to build confidence, to get to know you. So that would be a thought. I don't know if anybody else has a thought. It's not always the right thought. It's just a thought.
Yeah, and there's like ways around it too. Like I could be running multiple at the same time, with different days, like certain group on Monday, certain group on Tuesday.
You could do that.
Something like that. I could, if I wanted to keep it as that low ticket offer. But yeah, I've just
another idea would be like, you buy, I guess you already have the multiple purchase, but like for me, it's like you can buy one ticket at 25 or a ticket bundle at 125, right? So that's how I structure my tickets. Because I know that women that come to mind, they're busy and they might not be able to come every month. So that's why I haven't done a membership. I've shied away from a membership because I don't like memberships. I don't belong to them because half the time I can't do the things, right? So for me, it's like you can buy one time or the ticket bundle. So it's up to you. You could even like just play. You could buy a one-time women's circle ticket and you can use it at any point. Like they're always open. It's not always the same 10 women. I don't know. Just thinking crazy. You use the ticket and when the event comes up, you book it. If you grab the spot, great. If not, trust me, that person's first in line for the next one because my events have sold out before and they're first in line for the next one if they missed it. So it's actually an incentive to get to fill up earlier. So it might be fun. We can coach offline on that if you want a little bit.
Yeah, because I did try that actually, and I found that having the same women for a certain period of time was actually the magic of it.
Like, I can see that.
So important.
So to me, that's a higher ticket item, and because there's higher value, and so to me, it's like that medium. I think you can charge more than you're charging. Okay, we're at time, folks. I love these questions. I love seeing your faces. I know some of you are multitasking, so you couldn't be on, but what a wonderful chance to connect with you all again. I'm trying to think of when our next event is. Oh, it's the 24th of July. I hope that you'll join us. It's very different. It's a focus group. So we've got a group of St. Lawrence students who have created a pitch deck game. And here's one of these things where it's like, you're going to have fun, but also the benefit is to this team of students who's we've already got a bunch of people signed up. If you've been curious about how do I pitch, like how do I pitch for a competition or pitch an idea, they've created this game to help entrepreneurs do this more easily. So you're going to learn, but also you're going to give feedback. So if you're not already signed up, definitely check your newsletter. If you're like, what is this newsletter? Email me. You have my email because I sent you the Zoom link for today. Just say, put me on that newsletter. It comes out once a month. Once a week. And it gives you all directory to all of our workshops. And if you're in Kingston, Belleville, you have access to all this free stuff that we do through Queen's University. Get on our registration. We want to serve you. So absolutely no hidden fees. Queen's pays for everything. So definitely let's work together again. And thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day and a great rest of your week. That's it for today, folks. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye.